Guys, welcome back to Black, White, and the Grays. I thought I'd jump on here, make a quick little video. I am got all gussied up and going to dinner with some friends that we haven't seen in ages. I've been sick this last week and I'm feeling so much better. And I wanted to show you this because it has brought me so much joy this week because it has been a long time coming. I have this giant bush out front of my kitchen window and it is been planted here, I don't know, I think 5 years. And I made cuttings from it because some branches fell off the roof or some snow, and then I had some crazy snow shovelers this past winter and broke quite a few branches off. And I had one start that survived. And anyway, the moral of the story is this bush it was a little tiny guy and has grown quite huge, and it's 4 or 5 years. And it's a late blooming lilac, and I was questioning myself if I bought the wrong plant or maybe I was sold the wrong plant or what have you, because it never bloomed. And I could not figure out for the life of me what was going on. And so this whole winter, anytime our wood stove ash bucket was overflowing, I brought it out and just kind of mixed it in the snow and mixed in the snow. Later, when it melted, I mixed it into the compost. And so this year we have our first bud. Isn't it just beautiful? Doesn't smell like lilac yet, but I actually have a couple more on here. I have 3 whole buds this year. The pollinators are just loving it. So I have this little guy here and one more closer to the window. So 3 buds, but my biggest one is right in front of my kitchen window. So anytime you're doing dishes, it makes dishes a little less miserable. In one of my last videos, I had told you guys that it was really cold. So the first day of summer hit, bam, we got a heat wave. And we were in the mid 90s for a few days. So it kind of felt like summer. It's been feeling like summer, which it is summer, so that's great. And the high tunnel is just loving life. I was nervous with these hot days that it was going to be, too hot for my things, but they've actually done very well. I got one little hot pepper. No, I think that's a tomatillo. I don't know. I don't know how to grow tomatillos. I've never grown them before. But we got the rest of it mulched and compost. My San Marzanos are doing amazing. They are loving the compost that we gave them very well. And everything else got mulched and composted. Finished it up yesterday, which felt like a big job to get done. And it was something that was stressing me out. I think what we're going to end up doing is I might, especially for this middle row, I have a lot of indeterminates in it, meaning they're going to get pretty tall in theory, that I might do, there's, 3 rows. I might do 3 T-posts, definitely 3 at the bottom and 3 of here, maybe 3 in the middle. Hello, bee. And maybe do the Florida weave. It's like a trellising thing, and I think I could do it for free with basically what we have lying around the farm between T-posts and baling twine. Why I'm leaving this, a lot of you from a couple videos ago were just a lot of you were making comments that you were praying for my neighbor in my few videos ago where I was telling you that she was in the hospital. She ended up passing away a couple days ago. And so I just thought I would update you guys. It's not the news we wanted to hear. It's not the news we were all completely shocked still because it happened so fast. But the rest, the neighbors that are around, we've been, I don't know, it's kind of you're kind of just like, wow, life is short and you just never know. So go and just a reminder, guys, check on your neighbors. Pray for your neighbors. Make sure they're doing okay. I'm walking over to the larger garden. Oh, I can't get in this gate. I forgot. I have a pig over here getting the walkways ate up but we've had a lot of hot weather. I've talked to you about that. This is like our first week that I've had to actually water the gardens. They're doing very well. It's starting to look like a garden, and I'm like, wow, we have gardens. It's nice when they're barren and you're like, sometimes you forget you can grow things because it's been so long. But they're starting to look beautifully, and we're really, Lord willing, going to be pumping out the produce. This weekend coming up is the 4th of July weekend, and we're in for some more rain. As of now, my sister holds the 4th of July party every year. She's been praying for it to go up to 80s, but as of now, it's a high of 66 and rainy and thunderstorms for the 4th. This whole weekend is basically rainy and thunderstorms. Out in the larger garden, this is where the pigs were, and that's where I have a pig at. See how it's so grassy and tall? Well, it'll look like this when she's done, which is why she's there. So I'm on the back side of the garlic patch, and it's doing pretty good. It's doing good, and now we're starting to get some garlic scapes. So this scape is a flower. I've talked about this a few times, but if you're new here, it's only on hardneck garlic, which is a hardier type of garlic. If you hear some wild banshees, they're going to the pool because it's hot. But these are the flowers. If you let it go to flower, you won't get a big juicy bulb. I like big juicy bulbs, and I don't want it to go to flower, so I pick mine off. And they're really yummy. Anyway, here's our cabbage row. In parts it's pretty patchy, in parts it's not. It's doing relatively good. The one struggle bus is the broccoli row, and a lot of it has patches. A lot of it is already flowering and going to seed, which is a bummer, but not that big of a bummer because we can still get to the grocery store. There's a big fat scape for me. We can still get to the grocery store and buy broccoli, or I have plenty of time to start more broccoli. That is the bonus of a colder climate, is we can start a lot of cold crops. Hello, piggies. Here's some onions. All the crops are doing fairly well. These are leeks that are coming up right there. They're starting to do really good. Everything's jamming. These random green giant things in the middle of these carrots are garlics that were left, and I was just really curious to see how they would grow together in a bulb. So carrots are jamming. Look at these. And we have some volunteer potatoes. These carrots are the Parisian markets. They're kind of on the struggle bus over here. And then these ones are what is this? I planted them from seed, but they weren't pelleted. And they're okay. My best germinators are the boleros or anything from Johnny's. It's so good. These are those gnarly beets. Germination was spotty. It could have been the cedar as well, but you actually want to plant them quite a bit of ways apart. And mine aren't that close. Mine aren't that far apart to get the giant ones. So I'm going to thin them, and we'll eat the smaller ones as they mature. But something that was a big surprise to me were these bush beans. These are not bush beans. These are fava beans, broad beans. They're a frost hardy bean. And it's almost like I succession sowed them, because some are really small and some are giant, like a foot tall. So whatever, dude, you do you. This is our second succession of boleros, and our peas are starting to trellis the cattle panel. Some of you guys can't even grow peas right now because it's too hot. All right, so here's that broad bean. It's reaching the trellis now. Looks like we got some buddages. All exciting things, guys. All exciting things. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Do you, sir, like this bean? Look at this one. It's just now germinating. And that one just now germinated. I don't know what it is about these beans. Like, why do they take so long to germinate? I have no idea. Some do, some don't. I just thought they were a giant seed. It is what it is. I don't want to take you on a whole tour. One, it's blazing hot and I'm dying of heat out yonder. Chickens are doing good with these last two garden beds. We have a lot of grass that is just coming up between the cardboard, and I need a weed whack down. These beds were planted, but had some incidents and we lost some of the crops here. I ripped up the weed fabric here and we'll put it back down. This needs, it's just a work in progress. It'll be looking good. We are on the garden tour here in La Pine, 1 day only. Well, the garden tour is 3 days, but we're only doing 1 day. Ooh, you onion are bulbing up. Look at you. You're an overachiever. Look at this guy. He's bulbing up. There's a few of them bulbing up. They're getting so big. I'm so pleased to see. Oh, a cloud coverage. The wind. It's so nice. So the pigs, I'm gonna move this pig around the border of the garden to clean it up. What? Oh, I was saying, the pig's gonna move around the border, clean up these weeds. It'll make it look like that. And we'll just move her the whole month of July. And we have another one over here. So we have 2 pigs and a chickens in here. It's just like Ronald McDonald around this garden here. There's a lot of animals doing jobs. If they could become mischievous, they get kicked out. But as of now, everybody's been helpful. So they'll keep going and going and going and going. Something you haven't seen in a while is the little garden. So let's just run over there real quick. Here's the little garden. This just got watered this morning. There's so many bugs, pollinators everywhere. It is a wild jungle in here. It could be worse. Could be better. I'll sit underneath this tree here. All of my potatoes in those 2 rows are coming up. They're doing really good. I don't know if I planted anything here. Did I plant any? I got dirt on me. Dang. My lettuce is starting to come up. There's a praise report for you. We're all a little slow in here. And we have a garden tour, and it's kind of early this year, which is a bummer for my farm at least. I seem to either be colder and my plants don't mature like they should, like the rest of the town. So a lot of other gardeners want it earlier. I want it later. So when people come to my garden, it's not as mature when it's the first week of August, which is silly because I bet a lot of your gardens are. The chives are in bloom. I got all the chives. My walking onions are about to bloom. My potatoes are popping. I can't remember if I planted anything here. Hopefully some volunteer poppies. Oh yeah, I see a poppy coming up there. See a couple poppies coming up there. Oh yeah. Maybe that'll be good for this year. How's it going, crazy? Got a crazy boy in the pool, snorkeling. Pools. If your children are old enough to swim, know how to swim, and are 11 and 9, my twins are twins, obviously. So this pool has been like life-changing. They're just out here all the time. We busted out some snorkel gear, flippers and goggles, and they're just like living their best life. It'll keep them entertained. So my raspberries are doing good. The ones I pruned, I think they look more bushy. I don't know. Anyway, there's a smidgen of a garden update. It's kind of, we're zone 3, guys. We're cold. We've had a cold, wet spring. Things like are just now starting to boom. The raspberries are starting to perk up good. They're little, but they're starting to perk up. My potatoes are coming up. My lettuce is now coming up. It's ridiculous. And obviously, maybe I should plant some broccoli in here. That's a good idea. Maybe that's what I'll do around this joint. Because it stays so much cooler in here. I swear underneath this tree in the little garden, it's like 20 degrees cooler always. This is why I love this garden. You're just like tucked back. Nobody knows it's here. I've even debated on not putting it on the tour this year and just kind of letting people see the high tunnel and the market garden. Leaving this one to myself. Depends on what it looks like. If it looks too good, gotta show it. Probably will, but. Sunflowers are like 6 inches tall now. Some of them are only still a little couple inches, but they're starting to come up. Cilantros, I mean, everything's small. So there, you want to see those 6-inch tall sunflowers? Great. Here's my walking onions. They're doing good. I'm not gonna harvest any this year. See, I'm going to seed here. That's just a flower bloom. Here's my sunflowers. My comfrey is about to flower. I've never seen a comfrey flower. I'm just so pleased that it's doing so good. And my rhubarb, I need to harvest this because it's getting large. And if you harvest it, more will come back. My raspberry started to come out into the pathway, and more were, oh, there's one right there. I've been digging them up and putting them back. I want like a raspberry hedge around this whole garden. I gave a bunch to my sister. She came and dug some up. So it's fun to share your plants when you have an abundance. Ooh, and my hollyhock. Planted this from seed last year. A couple feet tall now. Doing good. I better get going though. I gotta get these kids out of the pool and get a move on. So I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks for following along. Be sure to subscribe and like this video. Have you seen the new likes? It like does fireworks. It's give it a whirl. All right, guys. Bye, guys.